Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going over the second issue in the Miles Morales Spider-Verse series that came out in like 2019. So in each of these issues, Miles essentially meets a different spider person, basically. Right off the bat, when I saw this comic cover, I wasn't sure if I would really enjoy it because it's Aunt May as Spider-Man. On the outside, not necessarily the most exciting premise, but some crazy stuff actually does happen in this comic. So without further ado, let's get into it. At this point in the whole Spider-Verse storyline, Spider-Geddon has already happened essentially, which is another kind of big Spider-Verse event. I'm not going to go through that whole storyline, but I mentioned that because this Aunt May has been through that event, so she's aware of the Spider-Verse and she's told Uncle Ben and Peter Parker about it, and we get adjusted to their dynamic. Peter has built web shooters for his family, but Aunt May is the only one with the spider powers. And because Aunt May has told Peter about the Spider-Verse, he's kind of bewildered at the idea. He can't believe that there are an infinite amount of universes where anything can happen. And in Peter's words, anything that can happen in the multiverse must happen, which Uncle Ben calls Peter Parker's first law of multiverses. Alright, so now that we know who we're kind of dealing with here, this is when it gets crazy. Aunt May and her family get interrupted by multiverse variants of themselves. So we have a symbiote bonded, carnage looking Aunt May, along with a bloody Uncle Ben and a cooler looking Peter Parker. So when this Parker family learned about the multiverse, they didn't really take it in stride. They actually took it the opposite way, as in everyone's fate is already determined, so there's actually no free will and we're all trapped, saying that if there's no choice, nothing really matters. And I guess they just want to prove it by causing chaos. Now we're kind of reminded why this is a Miles Morales series. We see him jump in from the multiverse onto this Earth, and again, his whole quest is to repair the web of life and destiny, which has been corrupted. So he's trying to find other spider variants and spider people to kind of help him with that. Miles then comes across the Battle of the Parkers, and Miles helps Spider-Man defend her family against these evil multiverse variants. For the time being, the evil variants are restrained, and Miles explains it's because of a symbiote that this other May was so powerful, and he sets off his Venom Blast to take out May. Then an evil version of Miles comes through the portal. Now he uses his Venom Blast to take out Miles and Spider-Man, and evil May gets free. However, Miles and May are not as hurt as they led on to believe, and they attack the variants, and we get this big splash page of the battle that's going on. And honestly, it looks kind of crazy just seeing an old Uncle Ben get kneed in the face. Same thing with Peter right here. It's kind of not fair to him because he's just a normal person that's all of a sudden in this multiverse battle, but he does redeem himself right here because he comes up with an idea that if there's a big enough coexisting impact across the multiverse, that you could essentially open up a portal. Obviously none of that really makes sense, but he comes up with it right on the spot because he's a genius. And the idea is that this same exact battle is happening across an infinite amount of Earths. So if there was a way for the same Spider-Man to web the same spot, then they could open a portal. And May sees there's a cafe with a heart logo, and she doesn't hesitate to web it. Then we see different variants of Aunt May across the multiverse do the exact same thing. And we kind of get a look at a bunch of different Aunt Mays, and it looks really funny because it has her big, like, elongated chin in all these different Spider-Man costumes. You got the symbiote, you got Spider-Gwen, Spider-Woman. There's even a variant of her in the MCU Spider-Man costume for some reason. I'm not going to mention all of them because it's too much, but yeah, this is a pretty crazy panel that I was not expecting. There's even a Miles version of her, which I don't get. And then a portal opens up, sucking the variants into it, but the problem is it doesn't stop growing. Carnage May, I don't know what she's called. She is mocking the family because she thinks they failed, and then Peter webs her in the face. And Peter again comes up with the idea that to solve this problem, they just all need to web the exact same spot to fix it. I don't and you know, with the multiverse, you do have to really suspend your disbelief, because a lot of it is just like, this thing causes the multiverse to explode. It's like, okay. But Uncle Ben explains to evil Aunt May that, yeah, none of this matters, but also all of it matters. Which I guess they're trying to say is that none of it matters because none of it matters. You have to try to make it matter yourself, and therefore it matters now. and then the evil Parkers get sucked back into their universe. May thanks Miles for his help and reminds him that she is called Spider-Man, which Miles goes, oh, okay, I might suggest that as a name for Gwen. And Peter's like, oh, Gwen from school? And I'm sure Miles in this moment is like, God, please do not become friends with her. Do not meet her. Leave her alone because she will die. And then Miles and May kind of question why they won instead of the bad versions of themselves. If there's an infinite amount of possibilities in the multiverse, anything is possible, so the bad guys could have easily just won. And May kind of wants to believe that even in the multiverse, even in the cosmos, the good still outweighs the bad. Miles continues his quest in the multiverse. Spider-Man's Miles gets a free pie, and May talks about how Miles told her there's always a constant in the multiverse. May is always the one who helps, Ben is always the one with the heart, and Peter with the brains. She then says how Peter's gonna go on to do great things, and it shows him with a container of the multiverse symbiote, which obviously is not good. I don't know if this story continued in a Spider-Man series. Let me know in the comments if that's the case. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know if you have a story or series you would like me to cover. I have a bunch more video ideas coming up, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll see you next time.